Oh yeah, sexy biscuits. Nice.
Long Waitrose, 1975. A YouTuber's on the rise. Reviewing games, and sometimes friends. But Long Waitrose, 1975.
Hey YouTube, Longbows Post 1975 and welcome to another Fat Friday video. A series of videos where I take a look at some of the more interesting things you can find to eat in the high street. Turns out it's not just frozen food that Pavlov's dogs, my poor ickle mind, it's chilled food as well. To be perfectly honest, excuse me, it's probably because it's a curry. And it's a curry that I've never had before. And it's a curry that promises to be, well, it's a 4 chili rating, promises to be hot. Anyway, what do I have to eat this week? I don't know why I didn't just pick it up. I have Waitrose hot chicken tikka masala. Tender marinated chicken in a hot tandoori spiced cream and tomato sauce. As you know, tikka masala to me is a dessert and not an actual curry. You could argue that its crimes against humanity are not quite as bad as korma, but it's still, as far as I'm concerned, a curry that you should not be eating curry. You should not be eating if you profess to be a curry lover. However, I will bend the rules for a hot chicken tikka masala, but to be fair, the only other hot chicken tikka masala, it rolls off the tongue even though it's a shit curry, is the one I've had from Iceland, which was alright, to be fair, was alright. And on the subject of Iceland, I've gone through my Fat Friday playlist, and you know what, it turns out, and also outside of that, I've always thought I've had, but I've never had it, the Iceland takeaway curry chicken madras, which is weird, so I'll have to get on that at some point, but I have 2 in my freezer, so there. And also, I was going to have this this week, because I do still intend on going through all the tin supermarket curries, but it turns out Asda does a beef madras. I like beef madras, how beef and madrassy it can be in a tin. But it does say a 3 chili rating, remains to be seen. But that's a curry, or those are curries, for another time, for we shall be trying this. The other reason that I'm not a massive fan of this is it's got cream in, hasn't it? And has it got coconut in? But it's a very rich and creamy curry. However, the fact that it's a hot tikka masala should possibly be its saving grace. And as you can see there, it's a 4 chili rating. I would let you read, if you want to, the nutritional information and stuff like that, because I simply can't be asked to read it in here, and the light is shit. Plus, oven cook, chilled, 25 minutes, gas 190 degrees Celsius, for we care not for the Fahrenheit. You know who else doesn't care for the Fahrenheit? Robert. Robert says hello. Hello. Yeah, or 170 degrees Celsius if you have a fan. 35 mins, sorry, if it is frozen. So we're preheated. So we're going to bang this in, because I always make this mistake talking about the other things in this video, and instead of just banging it straight in the oven, I believe it's called a rookie mistake. So we'll open one side up. Does it smell? Oh, it smells. There's a poke to it. I mean, definitely, because I've gone squiffy there and there, but it does smell like a tikka masala. Now, what's interesting, or you could argue a bit weird, is they don't actually do, Morrison's, they don't actually do an actual hot curry per se. I mean, I know that's a 4 chili rating, but when I say hot curry per se, I mean, why have you doubled up on the tikka masala? Why not have your regular tikka masala? I think the hottest they do after that is their jalfrezi. They got a whole bunch of stuff. That was a fiver, mind. I don't understand why Morrison's is so fucking expensive. I go there and I feel poor. And that's even before I buy anything. That's just looking at everyone else who shops there. I wonder who would win in a fight. Someone who shops at Waitrose or someone who shops at Marks in Spencer's. Maybe they should get on that. Right, so stopwatch, 25 minutes. 25 minutes and we are off. So yeah, that was a fiver. Well, £4.90 something. But I did pick up their own brand rice, Waitrose Mexican style rice. That was 85p. So, Windy Pops, it's swings and roundabouts, isn't it? But yeah, so why don't you just not make... I get that you're going to have a Tikka Masala because it's the most popular curry in this country, which means there's a lot of people in this country who, as far as I'm concerned, should be called pussies and not curry enthusiasts. But yeah, not double down on the Tikka Masala and just make a vindaloo. It's not rocket science, is it? Anyway, do I have anything in Crisp Corner? Yes. I was in a world food, or basically, you know when you get like a what is it? Mini Asian supermarket type sort of convenience store, and they also have a banging crisp section. And I came across these. I'm still dying here. Limited edition, limited time flavour, Lay's stacks, so it's Lay's equivalent of Pringles. I've never had them before, so I'm assuming because they're stacked, they got the same sort of thing as Pringles going on, where there's some sort of weird Frankenstein concoction of blended up potato starch into the shape of crisps, so they will stack, as opposed to an actual potato-based crisp. But I will hold off on these, and I am, you know, quite partial to the odd Pringle from time to time, but these are Lay's Stacks Spicy Lobster Flavour. Parisia Udang Karang Pedas. I'm just assuming that's the foreign then. Oh yeah, it is, because I know where these come from. Yeah, so potato chips, and yeah, there's your spicy lobster. These are like $2.75, but that's because they are imports. But what's interesting is spicy lobster flavour. Obviously, Lay's is PepsiCo, and PepsiCo is American. And I was thinking, where are these from then? So I believe they're from Malaysia, which is why they spell flavour with a U, because they are obviously a Commonwealth country, otherwise known as spelling flavour correctly. Do I have anything new in Eddie's Bar this week? Why, yes, I do. Welcome to Eddie's Bar. I had to have a look and then see if I could find it. I've got this, which is Bramwell's Peri Peri Sauce and Marinade Hot. Now you're thinking, that looks a bit familiar. Well, that's because it's knockoff Nando's Audi hot sauce. So I'm always interested in trying a knockoff to see how it fares to its big brother. You can't see it here anymore because I have actually finished off the bottle that I had. I would say that it makes a better marinade than it does a sauce, and I love to put this on whole chickens. Not so much this one because I haven't tried it yet, but look at the shit in there. It promises, it bodes to be well, shall we say. But yeah, honestly, now I've started cooking whole chickens in the air fryer, I'm telling you. Why did I never fucking cook whole chickens with marinade in my air fryer before? We live, we learn. But yeah, so I am quite looking forward to what this tastes like. Anyway, let's have a look at the weather. Dear God, isn't that depressing? That's depressing. That's my new indestructible football for my dog. Teething troubles. She just wants to carry on destroying the old football that wasn't indestructible. But it's 26 degrees out there, which you could argue is quite tame for July, but that's still too hot for me, and I dislike it massively. And I've looked ahead for a week. It rained yesterday, but it's not going to rain for a week or so, and it's someone who hates hot weather and someone who loves the rain. I just find that depressing, absolutely depressing. Anyway, interesting things that I found out this week. Obviously the legacy media did not cover this whatsoever. I found this on a freedom of speech website, but the legacy media wouldn't cover it, obviously, because the legacy media is pro-left and obviously pro-European. But there was going to be a new law coming into, or a new act, I should say, or bill, if you will, whatever you want to call it, whatever floats your boat, coming in next week for university campuses across the United Kingdom, called the Freedom of Speech Act. And it was to allow any individual to express an opinion and be, you know, protected under a Freedom of Speech Act. Well, our new socialist overlords and rulers, they've been in for what, 3 weeks now, 4 weeks? It's already begun. It's already begun with the slow chipping away of freedom of speech, because like most politicians, although our new socialist lords are generally worst at this, they, the Labour Party basically, they scream about democracy and they love it, especially when it gets them voted into power. But once they get into power, they spend their entire time in there doing everything they can to unpick shit and stack the deck in their favours to permanently stay in power. And here it comes, the start of it. So basically, It was going to come in next week. It was a Tory bill. Now, I'm not a fan of the fucking Tories. I'm a reform boy because I believe in fucking ending the two-party system. But yeah, so they've scrapped it, and the reason for scrapping it was going to be burdensome on. This is it. This is all they said. Burdensome on the providers. What does that even fucking mean? Burdensome on the providers. But safe to say, the real reason they've scrapped it is all university campuses across this country, and have been for fucking decade upon decade upon decade, are basically the left-wing indoctrination, brainwashing, whatever you want to call it, terraforming arm of the Labour Party. The universities are an unbelievably hard left-wing place, so they don't want you to be able to have freedom of speech there, because they don't want anyone there to be able to project a perspective of their political view that does not align with them and be protected from it. So basically, if anyone goes there and has any form of opinion that's ever so slightly to the right, they'll be shouted down and utterly fucking destroyed. Because as I said, universities in this country are basically being recruiters, was the word I'm looking for, recruiters for future generation upon generation of Labour voters. Impartiality does not fucking exist in the higher education system in this country, and it never fucking has, to be fair. So bottom line is, that's the real reason they got rid of this, because they can't have their beautiful recruitment fucking camps being, affected in any way whatsoever. But also, mark my fucking words, because the next thing that's going to happen is there will be an introduction in England of an online hate bill, which is not to protect people from online hate. Look at Scotland, etc, 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 and every other place that it's been introduced. It's just to silence anyone who you disagree with. Basically, she's a witch, burn her. And yeah, that'll come in. Absolutely, that will come in, because that's what fucking socialists do. Pick away at freedom of speech because it does not suit their interests. Anyway, so probably, before I mic this, bang all this shit up, because just like Ben's, the artist formerly known as Uncle Ben's, it's more of a brick when you first get it, and I'm trying to streamline this process. I am having to say that it is generally much nicer to be able to cook it from chill, just because the whole process is so much quicker. And I'm absolutely starving and dying. In fact, it was quite nice last week, just having to cook it on the hob. I know it's first world problems, but basically, miking, never mic your fucking curries. Cooking in the oven from frozen is it's just so time intensive. It smells like Uncle Ben's Mexican style rice. You go in there, and then what are we on time wise? Oh, we're coming up to 10 minutes. That means there's only 15 minutes left. I don't know why I'm saying it like someone commented on a race course, but I clearly am. I'm going to go next door and carry on watching Richard Hammond's Workshop, which is surprisingly good watching. Right, so coming up to 25 minutes, and because I planned, I put my rice in at 23 minutes, so everything should be coming up Millhouse. To be fair, that smells exactly the same as Ben's Mexican rice. It's probably made in the same factory, to be fair, so you can go off. Does it smell hot in here? Not necessarily such. It just smells like a tikka masala. I'm not saying tikka masalas don't smell nice, because they do smell nice. It's just, and obviously shouldn't be the case with this one, but we're reserve judgment, that they just don't deliver in the heat department. Did he? Got away with it. No, he didn't get away with it. Whew. Standard. I know you're supposed to, I know it's fine and stuff like that, but don't like putting plastic in the oven, and that's a definite, reason, or, that appearance, and why it makes me nervous. Anyway, I'll bring you over, so let's plate this bad boy up. Right, so where is your weight? Your weight is 350 grams, I think, for £5. That's a bit criminal, but to be fair, if you go into someone like Asda and you buy just the curry side itself, dying here. They're about £3.50, maybe £3.80, maybe even as much as £4. Anyway, I will say one thing when we look at this bad boy, which is look at the size of the pieces of chicken. Anyway, 2 tiers in a bucket, and all no, ooh. I've no idea why I said that like Richard Hammond. Fire extinguisher of choice from Aldi, £1.80, maybe £1.30 for 6 cans. Limonata, Italian style soda, sparkling lemon. This stuff is absolutely fantastic. I cannot think what the actual proper branded version of it is called off the top of my head, but you know what I mean, because I'm dying here. You get foil bits on the top. Anyway, let's go straight in there. Let's get a big piece of chicken, cover it in some curry sauce, juice if you will, and ram it in my pie hole. So 2 tiers of the bucket, fuck it. Mmm. Right, tastes like a tikka masala. It's I burnt my mouth. It's incredibly creamy. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but that's not my ideal sort of curry. I mean, by that I mean like you can taste that there's actual cream in there. It's set my mouth off watering what you absolutely wouldn't believe. I've already got a little bit on my chest. Back of my throat's gone. Got a little tickle going on. Under my tongue's gone. Yeah, hang on. Palate cleanse. There is Windy Pops. No idea what happened to my voice now. There is some heat in that. It's not nuclear. Definitely filling on the end of my tongue. It's a nice tasting curry if you like tikka masala, whereas it's not my favourite curry. But there is some heat in it. It's probably hotter than last week's 4 chili rated Asda Tin Vindaloo. Excuse me. But I don't know if I'd go as far as to say, well, it's hot for a tikka masala. It's definitely hot for a tikka masala. But would I say it's hot in general? I can feel it. Maybe a little bit of a sniffle. But I don't think it's as hot as any of Iceland's 4 chili rated curries. He says that, it's just gone to my chest. I have to say, it is very nice. It's not I'm worth £5 nice, but it's very nice. If you like tikka masala, well, if you like tikka masala, then your pussy doesn't like hot curry. So I struggle to think who this is aimed for. But if you do like tikka masala and you do like to live on the other side, you know, from time to time, see how the other half lives, then I would definitely give it a recommendation. It's creeping up my tongue towards the back. But yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. I would just say, oh, there's a lash on my chest then, and a little bit of a tickle, you know, increased at the back of my throat. It's just tikka masala's not for me. Especially £5 worth of tikka masala for only 350 grams. But the Mexican rice is utterly fantastic. I can feel a little bit of sweat on my forehead, but to be fair, it is 26 degrees out there. Anyway, try another piece of chicken. The chicken's nice. It's very succulent. It's not gristly, it's not fatty, it's not stringy. Really, really succulent. It's not char grilled or anything like that. I do like it when they char grilled it. Actually, no, it might be. I think it is. Oh, hello. Just looking at the other piece there. You'll never guess I've been doing this series for 4 years, will you? Looking at the other piece there, excuse me, Winnie Pops. It is char grilled. It's just, there's not a very prominent taste, oh, hello, of char grill coming from it. But 1, 2, 3, I've only got 5 pieces of chicken left. I could come around to this. If this was a standard tikka masala, excuse me, mouthful pig, what standard tikka masala tasted like, I could come around to it. Because, you know, I can start to appreciate the heat a little bit more. But since regular tikka masala exists, that's a stain on this curry's reputation. It's a very nice curry. If you like tikka masala, it's a very nice curry. Like I said, I could come around to that if that was standard tikka masala. Back of my throat, do you know what? I've got a little bit of a sniffle, back of my throat's got a kick. I've had a little bit of burn on my chest. I got a bit of sweat, but I think that might just because it's 26 degrees and that's added to it. It's alright. It's just bloody expensive for what it is. But I might try a few, well, obviously if I win the lottery, a few more of their curry entries to see what they're like. But anyway, it's always a lovely little thing, especially if you tried this one. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you later.